I mean, do I even need to continue the video? The results! Holy moly! Oh, all right, what's up guys? How you doing today? So, my camera guy for the last few years has been obsessed with 3D printing and making camera accessories. But one thing we've never really done is scan the camera and then use something like Fusion 360 or SolidWorks to create a housing or a rig. Maybe we want to put a GoPro right here and a light right here and set that all up, or have something where we're testing something and print that. You know, there's a lot of different things you can do if you can get the actual 3D model of the object that you want to create accessories for. So in this example, we're actually using the RX10 from Sony. This thing shoots 1,000 frames per second. It's got 300 or 600 millimeter zoom. So you might recall the flamethrower shot we had back in the day. That was this bad boy right here. Really, really great camera. It's treated us really well over the years, but there's, you know, certain things like this camera, there's no accessories on the market for it, or there's very few. There's other cameras like that. Or maybe you've got a RED camera or a ARRI digital cinema, you know, something like that. And maybe the accessories are super expensive, but you just need a rig or a custom thing or something like that, or a, you know, something to hold it onto a drone, something like that, but totally custom, even for sensors and other stuff. So this could be anything really, but we're gonna go and experiment with the Pro HD and the automated turntable versus the EinScan HX and its blue lasers / structured light, and just how the two behave and how you're gonna scan something like this. So, you know, right out of the gate, if we use the Pro HD, this is a black object. This is dark. This is, you know, gonna absorb all the light we throw at it. So we're gonna have to use some sort of spray or coating to lighten up the surface for the Pro HD to really get all the details. Now for that, we do have AE Sub Spray, which we have available at visionminer.com, as well as both of these scanners, bundles, accessories, anything you could possibly need for 3D scanning, we've got it at visionminer.com/scanners. So be sure to check that out. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. But we're gonna basically spray this with this, and it disappears in 2 to 4 hours and leaves no residue. So it's safe to scan or to spray, you know, whether it's electronics or valuable items or cameras like this. You know, you're talking a couple grand in the hand right there, and you don't want to ruin it. But this stuff is totally safe and works really well. Now for the HX, we're actually not going to have to do anything because the blue laser function picks up dark and reflective surfaces without having to coat anything. The only trade-off is we're gonna have to use markers. Now, I'm not gonna have to put markers on the object itself. I can actually put them around it, as I'll show you today. We're gonna sort of look at how long does it take to scan on each machine, which one's easier, which one gets better results, and, you know, sort of compare that based on the effort that it actually took to get there. So with that said, let's get right into it. I'm gonna start with the HX. We're starting up over here for the HX software, and I'm going to plug in the HX. With the HX, I'm gonna go over to my software here. It says it's offline, but that's okay, I just plugged it in. So we're gonna reconnect, and then I'm gonna get my scanning area set up. So for this is heavy enough, it's not gonna move. I don't need to fix it to anything. I just need to put my little scanner pyramids around so that it has reference markers to know where it's at in relation to the object and in relation to the previous view that it was in. So I'm just gonna spread these all around, give it some extras. Extra markers usually don't hurt. You do want them to be about 2 to 3 inches apart. Let's go from there, pop that over there, and if I needed to, I could actually put markers on the camera body itself, but I shouldn't really need to do that for this sort of quick scan. Now remember, I'm not going in to get the absolute most detail possible. I'm going in to reverse engineer it. So I need things like, where's the button at? Where are the screw holes at? Where's, you know, what's the relation between this knob and, you know, this bracket up here? And could I, you know, I need the geometry of it to design around. I don't need this super, super tiny details. With that in mind, I'll go over here and select laser scan. So realistically, I could probably do like 1 millimeter point spacing. You don't really need to do 0.05 for most things, frankly. It's really a lot of points in high res. So I'll just do it at 0.2, high detail. Let's see what that does. See how it picks it up. All right, so I'm in here. I'm gonna select black since the the whole body's black and dark mode. And I'm just gonna come right over to it, hit my preview button, which is really the start stop button on the back, and get my working distance by looking at the light on the back of the screen. You can also look on the screen on the left, tells you if you're at the right distance. And I'm gonna hit the button again to start picking up data. I'm just gonna come around like this. And you'll notice I can go upside down and go all around, do whatever I need to do to get multiple angles, because this is really like two eyeballs staring at something stereoscopically, right? So I need to just get as many angles as I can. I'm actually gonna stand up and come over here real quick to get in that nook and cranny. Let's get, oh yeah, get all those little details. Now it is, I wonder if it's gonna be able to get right in there where the hand grabs. Okay, there we go. All right. Go back around here. Okay, so that's pretty much all the data I'm really gonna need right off the bat. But just for giggles, I'm actually gonna examine it and see what we're missing. So we wanna get the bottom of the camera, a little bit more in there, and a little bit of that screen. So let's just real quick, I'm gonna go back into scanning, literally start picking up data again, and then while it's scanning, I can change the reflective mode, and we can see if it's gonna do a little better job on that LCD panel. I mean, it's a straight black mirror on the LCD panel, so good luck. It's actually kind of doing it. Yeah, it's actually picking up some data. I mean, like, you know, if you really wanted that data, I mean, it's a flat surface, so you're gonna reverse engineer that and you won't need to get that. Or you can put a piece of tape on it or anything like that if you needed to. All right, so into the data, let's go select. I'm gonna select some of this surface, and then I'm going to cutting plane, fitting point cloud. All right, I'm gonna drag it up just a little bit. We're gonna rescan the bottom, so I don't need to do that again. I can just hit apply. All right, so that got rid of all that data. Now I'm gonna select some of the actual camera body and hit connected domain, which is just gonna connect to everything that's actually touching. And then I'm gonna invert and delete the other selected data. Bada bing, bada boom. Looks like I got some funky stuff going on over here too. Okay, let me get rid of that. That was like some sort of funky reflection or something. All right, I can delete that data. And apply. So, all right. Then let's just turn the camera over. Boom, like that. It's pretty stable. I really don't want it to move, but I'm gonna go ahead and generate point clouds. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna go into project group and create a new project group. And then I'm just gonna go right back at it, grab my scanner, hit the button twice, and start gathering data just to get that whole bottom surface. Oh, but I gotta switch back to black mode because that'll work a little bit better with the black surfaces. Cool. Stand up a little bit. Go over here. I can sort of wiggle it around like this too to get better data, just more data, different angles. It's funny, I'm scanning like upside down most of the time, just based on where my hand needs to go. All right, that should be plenty enough. So I'm doing these real quick so you can see how fast you can actually go. All right, so I'm gonna select that, make my cutting plane, fit point cloud, move it up a little bit. I don't need any of that data actually, so I can just, actually I do need some of that right down there. So let's go unselect. I'm gonna select that, and then do connected domain. So now we've got all that stuff and I can invert and delete the extra data. Now I hit apply edit and generate point clouds. So now I get to go in here real quick and align the two models. Okay, so we just did two really fast scans in the HX and we're about to go in and align those scans. So let's do that real fast. I'm just gonna click the align button right here. I'm gonna drag project 1 into there and then select project 2 in there. And we've got them, obviously they don't align, but I'm just gonna say by feature and hit apply. And it should automatically align everything up perfectly. As you can see, it just did it like zero effort. So now we got 90%, 95% of this thing scanned. It's more than enough, everything we need. I'm gonna hit next and exit. So now I can actually mesh the model. Again, I'm gonna do unwatertight with the stock settings. All right, so pro tip. Watertight meshing is always gonna take longer because it has to fill in unknown data. So it's gonna use tangents and all these things to figure out where and how it needs to add data to make a watertight model. Unwatertight generally goes much, much faster because it's not filling any data in. It's just picking which data points it wants to keep based on the accuracy and how close it was to the actual point. So there you can see, it's missing a little bit because it had, you know, maybe too much data, or we could have scanned it for longer. It's pretty good, but I think you guys are really gonna enjoy the results from the Pro HD. All right, confirm. I'm just gonna save this out. RX10 HX. All right, so now I'm opening up EinScan Pro, which is for the Pro HD, and we're going to scan this on the turntable. Now, one thing to keep in mind is structured light don't like dark objects or reflective stuff. So I'm gonna take this A-sub spray and I'm gonna spray this several $1,000 camera with it because that's how much we trust it. It's actually really good. There's scientific papers on how little residue this leaves behind. It's kind of cool. And it goes away in 4 to 6 hours. So hopefully we don't need this camera the next 4 to 6 hours. But I'm just gonna give it a good coat. Now we have a white camera. This is stylish, I don't know. All right, so I got my A-sub and I'm gonna go in here, back to the software, hit fixed scan. Now here, it's gonna give me the option for the turntable. After I make a new project group, RX10 HD 1, and apply. Okay, so what we wanna do is we wanna get this puppy at the right distance, so I'm seeing my turntable, and then change the brightness. So there's just a little bit of red. I don't want everything overexposed like that. That'll be crazy, but a little bit of red is okay. I don't want no red, just a little bit of red. Get this out of the thing. All right, I'm gonna start with 8. Let's see how it does with 8. We literally just hit go. And here we go. It's going. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now it's cutting off part of that, which tells me it's actually potentially a little bit too close. Now we'll see if this number of angles gets everything we want. Ah, the results, holy moly. I mean, do I even need to continue the video? Keep in mind, this scanner, these turntable results are incredible. Compared to the handheld results though, this thing knocks it out of the park. So if you're just doing small parts and medium-sized parts that'll fit on a turntable, then you should definitely highly consider the Pro HD over the HX. But if you're doing a broad variety of stuff, I usually end up picking this one. So we can actually move this a little further away since it wasn't gathering all the data. I'm gonna change my angle slightly. Okay, and we're just going to scan it again. This is gonna add to it. It's actually gonna scan all of these datas again. And it looks like, okay, so now it's a little bit further away. It's not quite as good as detailed coming in. Looks like I could have put a little more spray on the end of that lens there. It's not picking everything up perfectly, but it's more than enough, I'll tell you that much. The accuracy on this with the turntable too is insane. So the point distance may not be as great. It's still really good though. I mean, look at this. You're literally just gathering millions of points. Golly, this is, it's too easy, guys. This is ridiculous. All right, now I can just go down here. I can get rid of this extra data that I don't need. I can hit delete selected data and apply the edit. So, all right. All right, awesome. So we've got 2 project groups. We've got 2 different angles. I'm just gonna take this thing and I'm actually gonna add a little more spray on certain areas, just like the back here. So I wanna get maybe a little bit on the bottom in here. And then I'm gonna put it on its top. Okay, it's a little bit wobbly, no, not really. Set up and ready to go. Let's run another scan on here. I'm gonna make a new project group, non-textured. All right, now I'm gonna go scan settings. We use the exact same settings and we're just gonna hit go. Now my brightness might be a little high. It might be a little too close. No, looks like it's doing all right. Looks like it's doing pretty good. But I'm wondering about this orientation. It's gonna get everything we need. We shall see. That's so cool. You can see the shadows throughout the entire print. All right. God, look at the detail there, man. That is, it's just on another level, dude. Compared to handheld scanning with the Pro or with the HX, I mean, what this is picking up in such little time is just like, if you're doing a ton of small parts or medium parts, it's well worth considering this because it does have the handheld ability. You can take it right off of here and I could do this whole thing. But when you're using the turntable, the detail and accuracy that you get is so unmatched. I mean, yes, you can get the same detail and accuracy from this thing, but it's gonna take a lot more work and just manual labor, you know, going like that. This is incredible. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this extra data right here. Don't need that. You know, delete selected. Oops, I missed a little spot. Delete selected and apply. So then I'm just gonna go into Align and pull project 1 right there, project 2 right there. And let's do feature align. Let's see if it just automatically gets it so I don't actually have to, yep, it's unique enough so I didn't actually have to get 3 points. Now, interestingly enough, we are missing some data right there. We are missing some data right there, which is just hard to get to. But if I switched this and I did like, you know, 30 different angles or 120 different angles, then it would actually get inside those little nooks and crannies pretty darn well. So bam, all right, let's complete that. Now we got this. I'm gonna go mesh model. We can go on watertight. And we're just gonna check out the detail compared to the HX. Yes, look at this. All right, so obviously we've got a lot more data than the HX one had. It would just take more time, more points on the HX handheld scanning, whereas this just immediately picks it all up. We're still missing some little areas. We got some work to do, but you know, if I'm creating a cage or something like that, this is all I need. Did it even start getting the threads inside the hole for the tripod threading down there? Wow. This is nice. This is very nice. I mean, that's all you're gonna need, man. Reverse engineering, that is a whole deal. I'm gonna save this out as an STL or an OBJ, both. All right, golly. So I hope this gives you more ideas of sort of the workflows and what you want to use the different scanners for, and hopefully that helps you pick, I think I'm gonna be doing more stuff that applies to the HX, or, maybe I got a ton of small parts, I can use the spray on everything I do. I think the HD might treat me a little bit better. It really comes down to the application. There's a lot of different things. So if you want to get on a call, hit us up. We'll get you on the line with somebody on the team. We can actually do a demo right here for you live if you want to see that. Other than that, let me know what questions you've got. Leave them in the comments down below. What do you want to see us scan? What do you wish we'd done in this demonstration? And we do sell all of these scanners, accessories, bundle packs, anything you need, as well as 3D printers on visionminer.com. You can go to visionminer.com/scanners to get straight to the scanners, and we're always here to help using this stuff every day in the shop. So hit that subscribe button, leave your comments down below, like it if you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. Have a positive rest of your day. I'll see you on the next video.